Welcome. In this video, we'll take a look at how to enter and sort data on our graphing calculators. So I'm going to take a look at an example from Alex that comes up later, and it's when we'll be learning how to graph data, and a particular graph here is called a histogram. So let me give you the example. So it says the following are distances in miles traveled to the workplace by 17 employees of a certain hospital. So there are the distances traveled for the 17 employees, and the data has not yet been organized in any way. And we call that the raw data, so data in its original form. So it can definitely be helpful to put data in numerical order, and that's what we'll learn to do here as well. Now there's a button here that says send a calculator, but this is an Alex example where you could send the data to the built-in Alex calculator. However, we are going to need to be proficient on our graphing calculators, so it's always good to start early and learn how to enter data. So that is what we shall do. So first step, you're going to hit your stat button on your calculator, and the first option will be edit. So you can either hit 1, or since that is selected, I usually just hit enter, and that will bring us to our lists. So data is entered in lists. So I have a L1 first list, L2 second list, etc. And you may or may not have data currently on your screen. So I'm going to come over to L1 here using my arrow. And if you don't have any values there, you might just want to put some numbers in. So I'm just typing a number 8. I just hit 8. I'll hit enter. I'll put in an 8. So if you just want to throw some numbers in by hitting a value and enter, you can put values in that list. That way I can show you how to clear a list. So I'm going to use my arrow, and I'm going to go all the way up until L1 is highlighted. So at the bottom, I'll see then the values in L1, and I'd like to clear those out. So as long as L1 is highlighted, hit your clear button. And now it will say L1 is blank. That's what I would like. So now hit enter, and your list should be clear. So I'm going to do that on my L2. So I'm going to come over to L2, highlight it. So I see the values in L2. I hit clear. Now it's empty, and then I hit enter to make that happen. All right. So now that we have list 1 empty, we're going to put our data here into list 1. So the first value is 7, so just type 7 and enter. And then we would continue through that list. Now, if you ever do make a mistake, you can always use your arrow to go up to the value, and you could type on top of it. If that 2 was supposed to be a 9, I could just type 9, enter. But you can also delete numbers. If I want to delete the 9, delete button. So basically, we just need to make sure that we get this data in. So if you'd like to hit pause here, I'm going to hit pause as well, and we can enter that data, and then we'll resume from there. Okay, so I have entered all my data. Hopefully you have as well. And you may have noticed when you are going through the list that at the bottom, it does keep track of what position you are in. So if we're at that last value, 10, the 17th employee, at the bottom, you'll see the 17th entry there is 10. So that's step 1, getting data in the calculator. And then, as I said, it can be helpful to have that data in numerical order. So what we'll do next is hit our stat button again. And then choice 2 is sort in ascending order. So that's what I'd like. So you can either arrow down and select it, or you can hit 2 either way. So I usually like to scroll down to number 2 and hit enter. Now we have to tell the calculator which list we would like to sort. And in our case, we put our list values in our first list, L1. So to get an L1 in that position, if you look at the 1 on your keypad above it, you're going to see L1, and the L1 should be in the same color as your second button. So I'll hit my second button and then 1, and now I'll see that L1 on the screen. And we don't even have to close the parentheses. The calculator lets us be a little bit lazy with that, but generally speaking, you would usually open and close parentheses, and we'll hit enter, and it will say done. And now we're going to go see if indeed it is done. So hit your Stat button again, and then Edit. And now hopefully you see those values in numerical order. So what I'd like to do here is scroll up to the top, highlight the L1, and I can now see those values across the page in order. And if you've highlighted L1 and hit Enter, your cursor will drop down here to the bottom, and you can actually now scroll through this direction as well, which is sometimes nice. Okay, so last thing I'll mention is how do we get back to our home screen? So the home screen where we do our regular typing. So to get from here back to your home screen, I often will say in class, second quit. So above your mode button is the word quit. So to activate quit, second, and then your mode button. And that brings me back to what we call the home screen. All right, and then hopefully that helps. And next, I will show you how you can clear lists in another way. So in the next video.